Good evening, dudes and dudettes. Welcome back to G for G, Games for Gamers. Today, this video is on Marvel Avengers Alliance, and I'm answering the question asked by Carter Slade here in one of my recent videos. Hey, Corky, can you do a video on the empowered ISOs that cost 20 gold? I really want to see them being worked out, but I don't want to waste the gold. So, he's looking for an opinion on the ISOs that are available on the store, the non-farmable ones, and I'm doing this video for him to answer that question. So as you can see here is a little quick look. We've got the X-Force sale. We have a big sale going on here that I have these people, so I can't really tell you about. It looks like some Fantastic Four guys might be on sale. Red Hulk, Havoc, Spiral, Thundra, Kitty Pryde, Bishop, and a few others. The Techno-Organic Endoskeleton has been added to the store. It's customized, it exploits combos, has a chance to do a follow-up attack. Mechanical body, cannot be inflicted with bleeding or poison, immune to psychic and bio attacks, susceptible to EMP grenades. Well, obviously in PvP, you're not going to get EMP grenaded. And it does combo setup, and it exploits combos. So, is this worth a purchase? Honestly, if you didn't get the Dragon's Foot, or you don't have the reboot, something that prevents a few debuffs, it is worth it. It doesn't have a counter like some of the other ones do, but yeah, it's a relatively solid purchase. And of course, there's the X-Force sale. So let's jump into the meat of the video and discuss the ISOs available in the store. And let's pop over and do this full screen. Okay, so over here in the store, we'll look at the character-specific ones, and then we'll go ahead and discuss the others. So, Masterful, Living Weapon, Kunlun Combo, and 5-Finger Death Punch apply pressure points. I'm going to rank these on a scale of 1 to 10. This one for Iron Fist, if you're running the Bruiser version, this one goes up a little bit. If you're running a team that can exploit pressure points, I would give this one an 8. Iron Fist is going to counter or get extra attacks with that level 1 and apply it all over the point. If you are running him as a scrapper, this dips considerably because these price points are expensive at 30 gold. It's half of a gold sale item, practically. And you really have to have somebody who exploits this hanging around. Otherwise, if you're running the Scrapper, especially the white Iron Fist or Heroic Age, you're probably going to run the one that does increased attacks. Assailing Empowered for Daredevil, chance to perform a follow-up against weakened, exposed, dizzy, slowed, blah blah blah. He puts these out. Nobody's running Daredevil really. I give this a 2. Realized Empowered, Miss Marvel, hidden potential, also triggers on elemental kinetic and psychic attacks. 2. There's way better options out there for Miss Marvel. If you're running the new suit and she's a tactician, you're going to give her Snappy Service. You're going to give her her personal one in almost any other case. Garbage. Fortuitous Empowered, Scarlet Witch, chance to manipulate probabilities by countering attacks, following them up, ignoring enemy defense. Chance to make Chaos Shield a quick action. Give this one about a 5, 5.5. She's not a tactician, she can't run Snappy Service. The one that says Chaos Shield never fails is a good choice. You could run this one and that one in her original suit and have a nice combo, but if you have her stripper suit, you're essentially knocking off most of the first part of this. And then you're probably going to want to run the Chaos Shield one. So, this one's not too bad. It's better than the others so far. And Optical, which is the Cyclops one, Optic Blast and Mega Optic Blast ignore defense. If you're running the Tactician, Snappy Service isn't going to help you. So, you could run the Attacking while exhausted. This one isn't particularly too bad. Considering most people are going to be running either the Uncanny or the Phoenix 5. They're only going to have one slot available. This isn't horrible, but reality hacking is the biggest form of defense now, especially since the cube has gone on sale. That's really what you have to take into account. Defense, a little bit, but I would give this one about a 6. Scarlet Witches and Cyclops are some of the better ones on here, and the AI, of course, will use Optic Blast, and it will use Mega. So if you got your Cyclops on defense, it's not bad. Class restricted ones. So here are the 20 gold ones. This is the main part of the question. Cleansing Empowered. It's for generalists. Remove one debuff every turn. Honestly, this is about a 4, mostly because if you have a generalist, he's running morale boost. If you ran multiple generalists, like Mockingbird and Rogue, Quicksilver and Rogue, and you were doing like a melee group or something, this could be slotted into the second slot, or maybe you ran the party suit and generalist Quicksilver or Rogue. If one of them was running morale boost, yes, one of them can run this, and that's not too bad. Vengeful Empowered, big and fast, chance to gain an extra turn when hit while protecting for a bruiser. 9, 8 or a 9 for people who do protect as bruisers. Captain, Wonder Man, anybody who might be jumping in as a bruiser. Hogun, after he's buffed. If you were running one of those bruisers on offense where you controlled them, I would give this a 9. Getting an extra turn for some of these guys, really solid, goes up. If you're doing this on defense, I'd give it about a 7. It's not bad, but you want to make sure that you know your bruiser is used properly and that the AI is going to make good use of the extra turn. Quick Empowered for tacticians. Buff actions that are not quick actions will become a quick action once per turn. Absolute 10. 10 out of 10. Fireworks. A++. Great eBay seller. Lose your virginity. Chocolate pie. Fantastic ISO. It works in Magneto for a free shield. It gives free turns to rescue. It's good for the Miss Marvel suit that's from Chapter Mastery, the Agent suit that is a tactician. Fandral, he can raise a glass with this. This is a fantastic and a must-have for most tacticians out there. Explosive Empowered for a blaster, collateral damage. Single target effects have a chance to do splash damage. This is very contingent upon your blaster. If you're running a Havoc and he's on offense and you're using your Plasma Wave to one-shot people, round 2 now, this one is very, very solid because the splash damage is unavoidable. If you have AoE style blasters and everything, this one is lowered. So this one is very solid depending upon the blaster. It's hard to rate because it changes. Reflexive, Ukemi, Infiltrators. I give this one an 8 for Infiltrators. Most Infiltrators, especially if they don't have good personal ones, or can run both. You take original suit Psylocke, you give her the personal one, you give her this. It's very, very good. You want your Infiltrators to get protected, and you know they're going to get follow-up attacks with like Scrapper, Blue Suit, Quicksilvers, and everything. This is very protective of your fragile Infiltrators. Blurred starts combat with Mirror Image. If you ran an Infiltrator in an original suit that didn't really have a good personal, or you don't have it yet, running both of these is a very, very solid idea. I would give the Reflexive 1 point more than Blurred. I would give this, because True Strike can fix this. True Strike will not fix that. I would give Blurred about a 6 or a 7. Most Infiltrators have solid ones, like Spiral, like Psylocke. Shayna's got a better one coming up. So it's solid, but again, it would be simply if you knew you really wanted to use an Infiltrator. Purging Empowered, first Scrapper. All attacks have a small chance to remove beneficial status effects. I give this one a 5, simply because Scrappers usually have better ones. If you're running a Scrapper, you're almost always going to run the attacks increase your attack 1. If you ran like an original Scrapper suit, and you could have two. Yes, this isn't bad. If you ran a team with resonating items, sonic items, you had original Quicksilver is a generalist, so that goes out, but maybe like Deadpool. Um, there's probably better options for one slot scrappers. This is not bad for two slots. I would never run this over the increasing attack one. Protective Empowered. Savant. Starts combat with a shield that absorbs damage for tacticians. This one is about a 7 if Quick isn't going to help that tactician. Sometimes this is about all you can do for a tactician, like Beast. Tactician Pesty Beast. This isn't such a bad idea. Tactician Captain Steve Rogers. Yeah, not a really bad idea. For like Magneto, you really don't want to go with this unless you're running both. Um, there's a Doom before Doom had a personal one. This was pretty solid because you didn't want people targeting him. It's not bad. It really isn't, but Quick may win out for certain people. Unavoidable. Blasters. Attacks gain Ethel Strike, ignoring avoids and incorporeal effects. Does not help reality hacking. Please keep that in mind. This one is about a 6. It's If there were more phased and ghosty people, um, this would be good. But there really isn't. For some people, there just isn't anything better. I'm running this on my Havoc because I don't have, nor do I necessarily want his personal. And this one is on all the time, as compared to, well, Havoc does have Shattering Punch. This one is only good if you had a real AoE blaster and nothing else was available. This one's a little low. Hardened and Powered ISO 8. Bruisers. Melee attacks increase defense. For Bruisers, I give this one an 8 or a 9. A lot of them, hey, there really isn't anything better for a Bruiser. Heimdall, Sandman, they're not protectors. This is just, if they get hit, this is going to go on. Um, I'm running this on my Sandman. Between grit and his natural evasion there with the 50%, honestly, why not? It can't hurt. I think it's good. Lingering Empowered ISO 8 Infiltrator. Counterattacks apply poison. A 3 for most infiltrators, a 10 for Shayna. This is really good because if she's going to get an extra attack off of something, she may poison somebody before she manually poisons them, thereby giving her that double attack as if she was a scrapper. If you don't really have a way of getting a lot of poison out, you don't have Pound a Cure or Spitting Viper or the that multi-shot one that ESP box dude uses from the genetic re-engineering set and everything, Omega Sentinel Wasp. It's pretty solid. I have it in my Shayna right now. Bruised Empowered ISO 8. For scrappers, unarmed attacks will not consume combo setup. It's not bad, but again, everything pales in comparison to the increasing the attack one. And there's not really anybody who could use this, I've checked. It's good if somebody else was giving a scrapper combo setup, or you had a non-scrapper that, well, actually, no, I take that back. It only applies to that particular scrapper. Yeah, this is really good for nobody. I can't imagine it because, again, Quicksilver, get his own, get the increasing attack one. I give this one like a 1. This is trash. Persisting. Attacks will no longer crit, but instead have a high chance to apply radiation exposure. Solid if that's what you're going for your team. If you ran like Havoc and Gamma Hulk, your agent was exploiting Gamma. If you were specifically doing a Gamma group, then yes, this is solid. Otherwise, I'd give it about a 4 or 5. If you had a real good AoE blaster, like Havoc doing his plasma spheres, yeah, it's not bad. And actually, I bumped this up to about a 7 because it's cheap. Vicious Empowered Bruisers. Apply slow to enemies attack with melee. 2, 3, kind of useless. Increasing Empowered. Tacticians. Attacking when exhausted options does extra damage. Again, not bad because sometimes a tactician really has nothing else. I think it falls behind the shield. I don't know the coefficient of this, how much it really increases the damage. I rank this one kind of low. I think tacticians have better ones. Inspiring, generalist, morale boost, 10. For generalist, generalist Quicksilver, rogue, your agent with the party suit. For the price point of being 10 and not 20, I give this one a 10. And lastly, aggressive, empowered, 10 for scrappers. Must have if you're running the scrapper and they don't have a good personal one. Fantastic, fantastic ISO. This ranks right up there with Snappy Service for the tactician, and it's only 5. Like, how could they could have charged 20 for this, and people would still get this absolute 10 plus. Real quickly, we'll go over these since we got a little time, and this is fast, and it's just my opinion on some of the standouts over here. Sympathetic, buff abilities grant a small HP boost. Pretty good. It's cheap, and there's a lot of people who don't necessarily have better ones. This could help. Rescue has made good use of this. Your agent can make good use of this. A lot, anything that buffs Neurotrope, even the power cells from the Vindication set. I rank this one pretty high. Sheltered, empowered. Recharge adds a shield. There are some heroics where this is nice. PvP, kind of garbage. Worthless. Distant power range attacks have a higher chance of critically hit. Pretty solid, but they know it, so they're getting you on the price. Surprising empowered. Skull Thumper. This one could be more expensive. I used to run this in my Bruiser Agent suit, and it works out pretty well. I now have it slotted in my Racket Raccoon because his follow-ups can stun, and it does work. This is pretty solid, and sometimes this will catch you off guard in PvP. Especially when it's being run on somebody you wouldn't think it would be run on. Iron Patriot, Pepsi Can running this and AoEing your team down, you'd be surprised. I like to pair it with people who are already stunned, to be honest. Recovering, again, good for some heroic battles, pretty trash. I used to have it in my Heimdall because I thought he was a stamina pig in PvP. Yeah, kind of garbage. Relentless, immune to stun. They know this one is good, which is why they're charging 80. Sometimes, hey, if there's nothing else left, just give them this. There's a lot of people who don't want key players in their PvP stun. They run this. Resonant. They could have charged 20 for this or higher. Very, very good for Spiral, Magic, Dr. Voodoo, Doctor Strange, Nico. Anybody who deals in magic and there just isn't a good thing for them, this is very, very solid. I tend to bounce this. I have 2 of these running around my magic dealers. And close and powered. Melee attacks have a higher chance to critically hit. If you had a melee character that wasn't a scrapper, this one is solid. I think this one should be dropped to 20, to be honest, to make it a little bit more in line. It's really good. I think it's good, say, if you're running a steps group and you really wanted to bump up the crit, or if you ran people who had deadly crits, like maybe Spider-Man. Some of his. I mean, if you had a deadly crits melee character and you really wanted that person critting, yes, this one goes up. I still would like to see them drop it a little bit. I mean, if Resonant, which is really strong, is only a 10, I think this should be a 20. So, there you go, folks. There's my opinion on the ISOs. I hope this answered the question that was asked by Carter. And hope everybody has a good day and is doing well in Marvel Avengers Alliance. Take care, everybody, and see you later here on G4G, Games for Gamers.